Washington taxpayers may soon be paying millions of dollars for lawsuits filed by their own state government. Governor Bob Ferguson's new budget includes money specifically to sue the federal government, and critics say this could turn taxpayers into the funding source for political battles.
Today on Left Coast News, we're unpacking a controversial item in Washington Governor Bob Ferguson's proposed budget that's generating political fire. A request for roughly $4.5 to $5 million in taxpayer dollars specifically to pay for lawsuits Washington State is pursuing against the federal government. Let's break down what that means, why it's happening, and how both supporters and critics are framing it.
From Seattle to Los Angeles, this is Left Coast News. No apologies, just the truth.
The budget request. Governor Bob Ferguson's 2026-2027 state budget request includes $4.7 million earmarked for federal administration litigation brought by Washington against federal agencies. If approved, this would slightly increase funds from prior years. What the money is for. The funding would cover attorney costs and litigation expenses tied to lawsuits targeting the Trump administration's policies, including challenges to actions seen by state officials as unlawful or harmful to Washington's interests. Scale of the litigation. According to the Washington Attorney General's own tracker, Washington has filed or joined 50 lawsuits against the current administration as of mid-January 2026, with over $15 billion in federal funding at stake in those cases. Washington State Attorney General's official justification. From the state's perspective, this funding enables the Office of Attorney General to continue defending the rights and services of Washington residents. Some of the key issues include fighting attempts to impose conditions on federal grant money, protecting transportation, housing, education, and health funding, legal defenses when federal actions are seen as unconstitutional. Critics say these are politically motivated lawsuits that often align with national party agendas instead of direct state interests, and taxpayers shouldn't foot the bill for this litigation. Some social media commentary claims that the number of lawsuits has been exaggerated in certain summaries and that previous administrations' records are mischaracterized. The conservative view, shared online, suggests Ferguson's office suing and suing again and wants your money to do it. This litigation budget request isn't the only legal cost impacting Washington taxpayers. State lawsuit payouts are rising rapidly. Washington has paid out hundreds of millions in legal settlements and liability payouts, over $500 million in one recent fiscal year, mostly related to state agency claims and foster care litigation. Washington is unusual among states in that it has no cap on damages in such cases, which increases taxpayer exposure. Lawmakers have previously pushed unsuccessfully for hearings on large settlements to increase transparency. While the litigation fund request is for defensive and federal cases, these broader legal costs contribute to climate where many voters feel the state's legal operations are lacking accountability, like many other government offices. So some questions that you might ask about this. Should taxpayers fund lawsuits against the federal government? Is it appropriate for the state to budget litigation funds when tens of millions are already flowing out in settlements? Are these lawsuits protecting state interests or political interests? Supporters will say they defend federal funding and constitutional rights. Critics, like myself, say they are political. How much is litigation really costing Washington taxpayers overall? Between defense budgets and settlement payouts, the total legal price tag for residents is a legitimate concern. The bottom line, this request is not just another line item. It reflects a broader strategy by the Washington state government to use litigation as a policy tool. Whether taxpayers should fund that strategy is now a subject of debate as lawmakers begin or are in the middle of the 2026 session. And it sits against a backdrop of rising legal costs that already strain the state's budget. Stay tuned as we continue to watch how the legislature handles this proposal, and we'll bring you updates on the debates in Olympia as they unfold. If you've got questions or opinions about this topic, hit us up at leftcoastnews.net. We want to hear what you think. Thanks for listening, and if you liked this, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm truly interested in hearing what your opinion is on this budget item for lawsuits. Thanks.